Welcome back, bonus wifeys. Have you guys worried up yet? Of course not. That's why you're here. But don't worry, because neither have I. Let's get into this mess. We're back with Sister Wives, and it's season 19, episode 26. So, this is part one of the one on one tell alls. I believe there's going to be four. This was a fantastic episode. I loved it. I really, really did. I do have to give a disclaimer. I am often biased, I am frequently bothered, and I am always, always unfiltered, okay? Anyway, we open up with a flashback, but not to worry, okay, because we do have new footage. And we start off this episode at Kody and Robyn's mansion, okay? This place is huge. Now, unfortunately, we're not inside. I like being inside because I do want to see the horrid crap that Robyn has. Anyway, Kody is talking about the first time they did a one on one, and he remembers Robyn's makeup, and he thought that she looked great there. Now, in comparison to how she looks now, she did actually look beautiful there, okay? But he's talking as we're looking at the picture, and he makes a licking motion with his tongue, because like apparently she was just so gorgeous to him. And I thought, number one, that is gross. Also, thank you, and do that more often in front of a camera, please. But apparently Robyn is not looking forward to this at all. I do have to say, right, I find it so hard to believe that she's younger than the OG3. And like it blows my mind that she's like, I think she's like 10 years younger than Kody. Time has not been kind to this woman at all. Now, Kody is putting clothes. Now, the clothes are on hangers and he's laying them like in the boot of another feckin' convertible, okay? And they're heading out like to the tell all. And Kody asks Robyn if there's anything he can do to protect her. She says no, God will protect her. And I thought, he's not protecting you from those gels, love. Anyway, that got me thinking about something. Recently, I watched a documentary on Netflix, okay? It's about Fred and Rose West. And Fred said the very same thing, okay? He just wanted to protect Rose. So I had all these thoughts in my head, okay? That didn't turn out well. That didn't turn out well. But anyway, I just got me thinking about Fred and Rose West. And like, because the wording that he used, I just thought was very interesting. Now, as they're leaving, these people are in the car and they're heading off. But apparently they're just going to have a little prayer after they leave. And I thought, how? Like, what are you going to do? Like, stop at the side of the road? Like, I've seen Christine doing their prayers, okay? And they kneel down to do their prayers. So how the hell, like, are they going to have a little prayer? Unless, like, they're just going to send up a silent prayer to, like, St. Christopher or something like that. I didn't understand, like, what they were doing. Oh my goodness, then we see Janelle, okay? Oh, Janelle. We're in Maddie's house, okay? And Janelle is getting ready for the one-on-one. And she has this huge, huge backpack on her, okay? Now, bear in mind, right, this woman has been on TV for 14 years, okay? 14 feckin' years. Now, we have just seen Kody and Robyn leaving the feckin' mansion with the clothes on hangers laid out on the boot of the car. Like, in a convertible, and we see this woman with her backpack on. Anyway, she tells us that she's not nervous, and apparently she likes Suki. I was actually happy to know that. Now we're with Christine and David, and they're getting ready. They have suitcases though, not backpacks. Now, Christine is not a fan of the one on ones just because she said that she finds it difficult. And she's talking about what Suki may bring up from the past. And then she just starts going off about Kody to David. Do you guys reckon like David ever gets like sick and tired of her talking about Kody? That would be so strange to be with your husband, your wife, your significant other, whatever, to be with your partner. It would be so fucking strange if they just kept like going on like about their exes. But anyway, apparently like the big fights between Christine and Kody was about the fact that Kody was always with Robyn, which we already knew. Anyway, she's disgusted with herself for loving and wanting Kody so much, and I thought that's awful, that she feels like that. And now we're with Meri, but there's no Jan. I was sad to see that, okay, because everybody else had somebody with them. Anyway, I did get a bit bothered, like I will be honest with you, because she introduces herself as Meri, not a sister wife. And I thought, Meri, you haven't been a sister wife for fucking years, love. Anyway, she's getting ready. Now, I did love this, okay? Because she's wearing her Wordy Up t shirt. And I thought, you used that free TLC advertising. You used that, girl. Also, what the hell is this Wordy Up, okay? I have tried to figure this out. I have followed this family for years, right? And I follow Mary, and I still can't make head nor tail of it. I don't know what the hell Wordy Up is, okay? But she did say something that stuck with me. She said that she's not worried about the one on one. She tells the truth, so she doesn't always have to remember what she said. So just keep that in mind, okay? So we're at the tell all, and Kody comes in first, nearly taking the doors off the feckin' hinges, okay? But I did notice, right, that Cody's hair doesn't move as he's doing this, okay? Now, Kody has a fresh fade, but it's only at the sides. Kody does not have enough hair for this look. He doesn't. Also, I want him to leave it alone. I want it to go back to the way it was. I want it long and straggly and stringy. I want to see this thing getting thinner and thinner and thinner. That's the way I like it, okay? That's the way I want it to be. So we're seeing Suki here. Suki looks beautiful, by the way. I always think Suki looks great. Now, I have to say, this is filmed all over the feckin' place, okay? Anyway, Suki is talking some crap about movies and what they choose for this part of their life. So this is the basic rundown. Janelle, who is looking beautiful. Janelle looks gorgeous here, by the way, right? She would definitely bang Harvey Arbor. Okay. Now, Kody thinks he's Batman, and he thought he better not be talking about Michael Keaton. I would go toe to toe with anybody who thinks that there could be a better Batman than Michael Keaton. I absolutely love Batman. I love Michael Keaton. Okay. Anyway, Meri is in her Reese Witherspoon era, and Suki reckons that Christine is legally blonde. I do have to say, Christine is looking stunning here, okay? All in pink. She looks beautiful. Now, we didn't hear from Robyn. I have a thought on this. I bet that she picked Flowers in the Attic because I found out in the comments that was made into an actual movie, okay? Now, I reckon she picked Flowers in the Attic and TLC were like, nah, that's a little bit dark. Maybe we'll just bypass that bit, okay? Now, Kody says he has no filter. Oh, I feel you, brother. I really, really do. Now, do you remember what I told you to bear in mind what Meri says? Because he also said that he goes through 5 iterations of the truth and then he picks one. So I believe that this is what Meri was talking about, okay? Because like you can't just pick the truth. The truth literally is the truth. It is what it is, okay? So now we're looking at flashbacks with Kody and Suki, and that's overlaid with Kody talking about how hard it was to hide the fact that he loves Robyn, okay? But now he's saying that he did actually love the wives, he just wasn't in love, and he didn't have the same experience with them. So, and they're flashing back to Robyn saying to Kody, "You did love your wives." But we're seeing the OG's reaction to all of this in screen, and Kody is saying they're all rewriting the past, and Meri is rewriting it like crazy. So I believe he's talking about the Catfish. I do have to say, I'd love these to get back together on the Red Velvet Sofa. They were such good times, you know. Speaking of good times, go ahead and hit subscribe. We always have a great bit of crack and share our rarity here. Now, according to Kody, okay, he said the things that he did because he was going through breakups. But he says he always loved Robyn and was basically trying to make his other wives have the same relationship with him that he had with Robyn. I thought, how fucking hurtful. Also, that's very Stepford wives, you know? Now, if I'm making myself a Stepford wife, okay, I am not using Robyn Brown as the template. What does he see in this woman? I know he's a bit old, right? Is he blind? Or like, has he got the cataracts? Because I can't for the life of me figure this shit out. What the hell does he see in this woman? Oh, now we're hearing from Mary. Can someone please help this woman? Oh my God, the hair. Holy suffering Jesus, what is going on here? I can't. And she has jet black, heavy eyeliner on. It's awful. It's awful. But minus the hair and the eyeliner, I do have to say she looks great here. She looks a lot lighter and a lot more peaceful. And I hope she's feeling like that, you know? So Mary says that Kody and her were definitely in love, which I do believe to be true. But she reckons he's just trying to blow off the fact that he really did love her. That is so messed up. Also, I think blow off means something entirely different in the United States. But Mary does say, okay, that she just wants Kody to admit that he did love her and that he fell out of love with her, okay? But at one time he did actually love her. Now, I do have conflicting thoughts on this, okay? Because on the one hand, it does seem really desperate, but also, like, she probably just needs to know that she didn't waste, like, 3 feckin' decades of her life, like, you know? So I understand, yeah, it does come off desperate, but also to a certain extent, I do actually get it. Narrow with slow mo Joe and the incredibly bad eyelashes. They look awful, like they're too heavy. They're dragging her face down. But I have to say, I am delighted like that she's wearing them. Now, Robyn says that Kody is just speaking from a place of pain, and that when they were courting, he told her that he loved his wives kind of like a test. And I thought, weird. But what's even weirder is that Robyn said it was like an aphrodisiac. Is she a cook? I'm not judging, like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying the quiet parts out loud because you know that's the way it's coming across to me. So Suki is talking to Kody now, and this is filmed between each feckin' person but separately. And Suki said, "You're supposed to love everyone equally." And I have to ask, is Kody on TRT here? Like he's extra frantic and crazy. Anyway, Kody is saying to Suki, like, try that. And I thought, why? Like, she's not a polygamous, Kody. You know, she's not a polygamist. Why would she try and do it? And he says, your relationship with your children and wives and friends is different because you find a higher love. But that's not what she said, Kody. She said you're supposed to love your wives equally. Like, obviously, you're going to love kids and friends different to your wives, but you're supposed to treat everybody equally. That is what you signed up for. Then Kody says something. Now, I heard this as Kody saying he was an incel all his life. But what he said is he was in sales all his life. I know it just is like it's just his accent, and I do also know that I have no room to be jeering anybody else, but it was just funny to me, okay? But then he starts talking about taking somebody out because they're a better salesman. This analogy is ludicrous, and I wouldn't be talking about taking anybody out on TV, Kody. You already look totally unhinged, and you have like that Fred West mentality going on. Then he says that Robyn was good at communicating with me and loving me. I think he's talking about pegging here, okay? But Suki said, and negotiating with you? I thought, what? Why are these people like talking like they belong in the IRA? Why are they using this wording? I didn't understand it. But apparently, okay, Robyn was good at respecting herself. What the hell does that even mean? And also, this woman gave birth on TV with stepdaddy photographing her snatch. I'm so fucking confused as to what Cody means by this. So Suki is relaying the conversation with Janelle, and Janelle says, I have self-respect, okay? And when Suki asked her if Cody like respected her, Janelle said, I don't know. And I thought, oh my goodness. Now, Christine. Christine says it's embarrassing because her life was wrapped up in Cody and all his wants and needs, and also what the family wanted and needed. And I believe that because Christine was a wonderful wife and mother, okay, and she was also a wonderful sister wife. But she said, right, that she'd have to change everything about herself, like to accommodate Cody. I could never do any of this shit. I'm the least accommodating person in the world, but I know that about myself, I know that. So, like, don't be like people don't expect anything like differently of me. Like if someone just like expected me to, uproot my whole day because like they wanted to do something, no feckin' chance. No way. I could never. Fair play to her. Like she was absolutely brilliant. And Suki asked, does Christine feel like Cody respected her? And she says, I don't think he felt like he needed to. Oh my God, that broke my heart. But she does hope that maybe in some roles that he did. Now, Cody says he had way more respect for Meri than for Janelle, and more respect for Janelle and Meri than for Christine. So she was right, okay? And I thought, why did you marry this woman? Like, you have six fucking kids with her, Cody, and your kids are going to see this. Like, not just Christine's biological children, but all the other children are going to see this, okay? No wonder they hate this guy. He's a fucking terrible person. Then Suki is relaying Christian's conversation with Cody about like being fixated and making him happy. And then this gobshite says, right, that she was great at cooking me a meal, but she wasn't fixated on making him happy. But he agrees that Christine probably felt like she wasn't respected. I nearly feckin' fell off the damn treadmill. I couldn't believe that he said this, but like he's just saying it like so nonchalant, It's just, oh my God, this guy. Now, Christine, of course, hates this and hopes that he did respect her. Sometimes my heart was broken listening to this, okay? Now, Meri says she doesn't think that he always respected her. Now, bear in mind, okay, she's the wife that he told us he respected the most, right? Oh my goodness. She also says that when she was going through her hard time, he didn't always respect her. Now, I believe she's talking about the catfish here. So just to catch you up on the catfish, okay? It was a guy called Samuel Jacob Cooper, okay? It was really a woman called Jackie Overton and she was catfished. And there was like a banana picture and she scraped like, the name into her arm and everything. It was all over the place. It was all over social media. Apparently, like, Cody was the only person that wasn't following this. But anyway, Jackie Overton also wrote a book. It's terribly written, but I will say it is like it is an interesting read. Anyway, a frantic Cody is now screaming at Suki and saying he's taking accountability and wants everyone else to take accountability. Now, Suki is remaining as calm as a cucumber. I have to say, she's a better woman than me, okay? And she says they have taken accountability. But then Cody is talking some Farah Abraham word salad that I can't follow. And it's something about Christine not having self respect. But that isn't Robyn's fault. I've no idea. I've no idea where this came from, okay? Now, Slow Mo Joe is back and she's agreeing that Cody did in fact try the Stepford wives method on the OG3. He was trying to make their relationship basically exactly like her relationship, okay? But Christina's saying no, that's a lie. He didn't try to make my relationship like Robin's. My mind is blown. Why aren't these women absolutely furious over this statement, okay? But Christine does say that he wasn't interested in developing a deeper or richer relationship with her because like she was basically discarded, when Robin came along. Now, Suki puts the same fucking question about the Stepford Wives plan to Janelle, and she says he didn't try that with her. But like it would have been nice if he had communicated that to her. And I thought, why are these women not like losing their mind over this? And then thank God for Meri, okay? Because when Suki puts it to Meri, Meri's response is, that's not fair. Like we're all supposed to be Robyn because she is Meri and she's not going to be anyone else. And I thought finally someone I can make sense of. And Meri says that he didn't accept her and he hasn't done for the past 12 or 14 years. Now, bear in mind, this is pre Catfish, by the way, okay? Now, Meri does say he's being cruel, and I completely and utterly agree with Meri here. Now, Suki and Meri are watching Kody and Meri with the other wives in shot in the screen. Can we get them all back in the sofa, please, okay? But we do get a great throwback picture, okay, of a very Miami Vice look from Kody. Now, they're talking about Meri getting the spiritual release, okay? And Meri getting like the actual divorce from Robyn. And Kody says that after they got the divorce, he gave Meri a ring and he banged her. And Meri is like confused because she doesn't know why Kody gives a shit regarding the spiritual release because he doesn't even believe in this faith anymore. And basically, he just used this religion to kind of like, string her along. But during this, right? Kody says he was afraid of ripping the band aid off. He was afraid of what Meri would do. Now, nobody knows what the hell Kody is talking about. Nobody knows what he means, like when he's saying that he's afraid. Now, Suki asked Janelle, okay? And Janelle says, don't know. I've no idea what Kody is talking about. And then I have to say, I got very fucking bothered, okay? Because when Suki asked Christine, she basically says that Meri was a psycho. I'm reading between the lines, but that's what I'm picking up. But it doesn't matter, okay? Like, I wanted Christine to stick up for her, okay? Put all that crap in the book because I do actually want to know. But in this moment, okay, have Meri's back. I was not impressed with this at all. I wasn't. But apparently Meri is grand now. But Christine is telling us that, they did have to walk on eggshells and she was apparently like really hard to live with. Now, Kody is back with the old Farrah Abraham word salad, okay? And apparently, after the legal divorce, he says Meri shifted and that he doesn't want to get into it because him and Meri are friends now. And I thought, no, you're not. When the hell was this filmed, okay? Because no, you are not friends. Her and Jen cannot stand you. Oh man, I wish Jen was here for this one. I really, really do. But he says like that he's not going to get into it, but he is getting into it, okay? Because he said like Meri moved herself away from it and it's foreign to her and is going from like she's going from like friend to friend, like talking about him. So he definitely is talking about the catfish, yeah. So apparently Christine is absolutely delighted that Meri got the release and says they were all abandoned now. I got really fucking bothered, okay? Because Suki asked Christine to explain the word abandon, and I thought, what the fuck are you talking about, Suki? Why do you need that explained? Like, even I know that one. Anyway, Christine says that Kody didn't go to Mary's house at all, and basically, like, the divorce, it was just like the beginning of the end for them. But when Robyn is asked about this, Robin just says like that she's not going to talk about it because like there's different opinions. So again, like Robin is bringing to the table what she always does. Absolutely nothing, okay? Now Suki is relaying the conversation with Meri and says that Kody told, well, basically the world that he divorced you, gave you a ring, and brought you home. Now she uses the word make love, okay? Now Meri is bothered by this. Now Meri says that she can't remember. I don't believe her, okay? Because that's a very significant day she would remember. And Mary, we all want to know. We all want to know. Is he any good? Like, is he? Does he know where everything is? And does he know where, like, how everything works? I'm asking the important questions. This is what the people really want to know. But Mary is shutting it down, like, unfortunately. Anyway, she says that Kody says he didn't love Meri all those years, okay? And she's also wondering why Kody was actually afraid. And was he afraid because she wouldn't sign the divorce papers? And now she's wondering if it was all a plan. Meri, it was all of a feckin' plan. We all knew it, okay? Then Cody says that Meri was gaslighting herself. I don't even think that that's possible. I don't. But apparently, Mary kicked Kody out, and he says he's not going to say why. So we're talking about the catfish. And these two are apparently never going to agree on how they broke up. Now, he says that he doesn't care, right, that she told the leaders of the church that he abandoned her. But you do care, Kody, because, like, you keep rabbiting on about it. Now, Suki is asking Janelle about the divorce, and Janelle said Mary had a spiritual impression, but she does also say that maybe it was suggested to Mary. It was Janelle, and it was suggested very feckin' heavily also. And then I absolutely and utterly love this, okay? Because then Janelle says that Kody is basically too stupid to create like such a plan. I love this level of petty. I feckin' live for it. I really, really do. Now, Christine thinks that Robyn did plan it, okay? And she said that Robyn would talk about men divorcing their wives and marrying the new wife. And apparently Robyn brought it up like over years, okay? And although Mary said it was her idea, Christine is calling bullshit. I agree with Christine on this. I really, really do. Now, Suki is asking Robyn about the divorce. Robyn gets a touch of the old amnesia, okay? She doesn't remember ever talking about that. But then she says something that I did not know. She said maybe it was just in their minds because it's something that Cody's father did. And I thought, what the hell? Like, hang on a second, like, who did Grandpa Win marry and adopt? Is he Janelle's legal father? We have never heard about this. And I want to know more about it. Who on earth did this guy adopt? Oh my God, my mind was blown because she just left me hanging. She didn't go into more detail, and I really need to know more detail. But apparently Suki has learned what abandoned like means and asked Robyn why is it like so hard for Kody to hear that. And then Robyn spews some utter bollocks about Kody being present. He's present for you. He is only present for you. And then this cheeky cow says Mary got a release from the church because of what she said. So is she insinuating that Mary lied? Like she does know that we've been watching him for like 19 seasons. And then Kody finally, right, mentions the catfish and says he was listening to Mary giggling on the phone while he was in bed. And he thought, well, why didn't you not just go and talk to her, Kody? Like, can you imagine you're just lying there, okay? And your spouse, your significant other, whatever you want to call them, is like in a different part of the house, like chatting to somebody else, like on the phone, like chatting like to another love interest. And you're just like lying there. Well, that tells me, okay? That tells me that you're completely and utterly checked out of that fucking relationship, Kody. But then Kody, right? Kody says that Mary should be frustrated with the time it took him to tell her that it was over. She is feckin' frustrated, Kody. She is. And by the way, so is the whole damn world, okay? Now, Mary says she married for life, okay? And that she got in a bad place, which is a catfish. She won't say it, okay? She won't say it. But she does say that she always wanted her marriage to work, which I believe to be true. Anyway, she has realized well what's being said like in the past year that he didn't want it to make it work and I thought what you mean the past year the past feckin' decade Mary like just watch your own show back because we've all seen it now Cody is telling us that him and Janelle were great in Vegas okay this goes back to my theory Janelle was definitely in our sexy girl dominatrix era okay but he doesn't know what went wrong now Suki is going to show him okay and it's Janelle saying that her and the kids can't say anything about Robyn. And I absolutely loved hearing Janelle calling Robyn a sacred cow again. I love this woman so much, okay? Now, as we were watching this interaction, I didn't like this, okay? Because I noticed that Robyn is smirking. No, not for me. But I did love this, okay? Because Janelle calls Cody a failure. And I absolutely and utterly love that. But Cody reckons like he's totally not a failure at all, okay? And that Janelle has a victim card. Cody, if everyone has a problem with you, you are the fucking problem. Now, according to Robyn, okay, they're all failures because according to Robyn, it takes two to make or break a relationship. That's grand, but that's not the way it works when there's only one fucking person around Robyn. Robyn can't do the maths. She can't. She's not the sharpest tool at all. It's like she doesn't understand. Anyway, apparently Robyn, like she just can't watch the clips because it's just too hard for her. It's so fucking hard to sit on the sofa like and watch clips. Now, Janelle is saying that she's not a victim for wanting her boundaries respected. Now, Janelle is wondering if Cody is taking the fall for Robyn because she said that they're both to blame and that they're both culpable. So this is where my Fred and Rose West thoughts came from, okay? This is why. Now, we're finishing off with Janelle, and she is doubling down on the fact that Kody is, in fact, an absolute and utter failure. And I will say, I, for one, completely and utterly appreciated that. So, this is our recap of the tell-alls from season 19, episode 26. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day.